Hi guys, welcome to my channel, or welcome, wait, again, redo.
And I'm bad like the Barbie. I'm a doll, but I still wanna party. Pink felt like I'm ready to bend. I'm a 10, so I pull in a 10. Like Daddy.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome to my channel. So this video, I'm gonna do a story time for this video. I know it's like, I don't think I've done a story time on my channel. I don't know, I have to check. But this story time is gonna be a 16 and pregnant story time. I will try adding as much pictures and videos I can so you guys can see how I looked pregnant, the pregnancy test, and all that sort. I'm gonna give you guys my parents' reaction, my siblings' reaction, the father of my kids' reaction, which is my partner still to this day. I had to add that in there, okay? Nowadays, I don't know, that I'm just saying, not trying to piss anybody off. I'm just saying, like, you know, sometimes respectfully you gotta get out that relationship and you find a new relationship, and you know, you have new father of new kids, which is totally fine. But you know, never mind, I'm saying too much. Anyways, I'm just gonna I'm gonna spill all the tea of when I was 16 and pregnant. I've also been 19 and pregnant, so if you guys want to hear that story, comment that down below so that I can make that video for you. Okay, so I'm trying to go all the way up to my pictures so that I have the correct dates. So I started getting, I got together with my partner in 2018. Okay. You know, we've been together for quite some time, I believe. Well, I don't believe, I know, but I don't know, whatever it is. I've been with my partner for a while. And you know, when you have intercourse, there could be a possible chance you can get pregnant. There is. Doesn't matter if you're doing it right, as in you're on birth control and condoms, like protection wise, doesn't matter, okay? You can still get pregnant. Everybody knows that. So I mean, I hope everybody knows that. When I started having intercourse is when I kind of started just getting pregnancy tests, just in case, you know, something goes wrong and, you know, I get pregnant and whatever. So I just have it there. I just have it to test if I have a pregnancy scare. So I remember I was cleaning out my drawer, my makeup drawer, and that's where I usually had my stuff because my mom wouldn't look in there, you know. So I was cleaning everything out, throwing out the old makeup because I just had bought new makeup. And I see that I had a pregnancy test that I've never used in my drawer. And I'm like, well, I'm going to throw this away anyways because it was expired. So I'm like, I'm going to throw it away anyways. So let me just pretend I'm going to take, well, not pretend because I actually did it. I took the pregnancy test, but I was just like, in my head thought it was gonna come back negative. Like, I never in my mind thought it was gonna come back positive, you know. So I go ahead and take it. I just left it there. I was just like, okay, whatever, like, you know, I'm just leaving it there. And I go back to see it after like maybe 10 minutes because I'm telling you, I was just gonna grab it, throw it away. So that's what I literally did. Sorry, my dog's in the back playing with his chew toys. Anyways, so once I was gonna throw away the big bag to the garbage downstairs, I started, I went to go get the pregnancy test so I could throw it back in there. But when I took a look, there was like a faint line. And I was like, I've always known that if there's a faint line on your pregnancy test, there could be like a 99% chance that it's either you're actually fucking pregnant or just an evap line, you know? That 1% could be that evap line, you know? So I was like, okay, you know, that shit came back positive. But also, like I said, is the pregnancy test was expired. So I also didn't think much of it. I just sent it to my partner. I was like, oh, look, haha, I'm pregnant. And he was like, no, you're not. There's no line. Like, you know, they don't know much about pregnancy tests. They don't know that even if there's a faint line, there possibly could be a chance that you're pregnant, you know? So fast forward, then I went to his house. He kind of just told me, let's just wait in like November like 30th or whatever to start checking, and we check again, you know, like since it's saying that you're pregnant, we'll check again and then we'll see, you know. I'm like, okay. I couldn't wait that long. The next day I had Saturday school. And so I walked my ass to Saturday school because I'm like, I need to go. There was a Rite Aid right by my house. So I'm like, I need to go to the Rite Aid to go buy more pregnancy tests. Oh my God.
Can you shut the fuck up?
Can you shut up? Come on. I'm making a video here. Anyways. So I get to Rite Aid and I buy those, like, maybe like, no, just one box of pregnancy tests of 2. So I'm like, okay. So I get to school. Over here, like, not really thinking much about it because, like I said, the test was expired. So I'm like, it's gonna be a negative. It's gonna be a no. I had no symptoms. I didn't even know, like, there was nothing there, you know? So I get to school. I go to the restroom. The first thing I do when I get to school is just take the test just to get it over with. And right away, a positive came out. Like, 2 bright lines. Remember, the day before I checked my if I was pregnant at night, usually the highest HCG levels that you'll have is in the mornings, the first urine. So if you ever guys want to ever take a pregnancy test, if you're trying to get pregnant, if you don't want to get pregnant but you just want to check. Sorry, I had to change the lighting. I felt like I looked too orange. Okay, so yeah, I saw 2 positive lines. I mean, 2 lines, you know what I'm saying? So I'm over here like, oh shoot, like it wasn't even that it was expired. It was literally that I'm freaking pregnant. So I'm over here like freaking out. I'm like, but like, so I go ahead after class. I take the second one that I had. Again, it came back that I'm pregnant. I'm like, fuck. Like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? Like, you know, I was like freaking out, but I think I was more in shock because I wasn't that mad. Like, I was more like, what? Like, when, how, why? But I knew when, how, why. Okay? Or maybe not when, but I knew how, why. Okay? And so I get home, and then my sister, she already had a child, you know, so I go and tell her, like, this dog, I want to take away the toy, but I know he's just being a dog. Okay, so I got home and I knew already, you know, like, I had to tell my sister, like, me and my sister are close. I need to tell her, you know, whatever. My sister's about 6.5 years older than me, so yeah, she was my big sister. She already had a child of her own, you know. And I go and ask her, like, hey, when you took a pregnancy test, you know, if there's a faint line, can that mean that you're pregnant? Like, my line wasn't faint no more. The second one, it was clearly there. Like, it was a little faint, as in it wasn't as dark as the regular line that is either negative or, you know. But it was dark enough to be like, okay, bitch, you're freaking pregnant. Like, ain't no way you're not. So I showed her and she was like, you're lying to me. She's like, you're not really pregnant, da da da. And then I was just like, no, seriously, I think I am. Like, look at these 2 tests. She's like, well, this is how it looked when I was pregnant with my baby when I first found out. And then I'm like, oh shit, like, then I am, right? So then she was like, or let's go to Rite Aid and get another test. I'm like, I don't have money for another test. Like, this is all the money I used that my parents had given me for school. So she was like, okay, I'll buy you the test. She went to go buy me a digital one. I honestly thought it was going to come back negative because I thought I was really early on to even get it, like, on a digital pregnancy test that says pregnant or not. I got the clear blue one as well. And then that one, it, you know, she's like, okay, let's go to the restroom in our house. We went back home. And then I was like, okay, and I'm over here closing the door. She's like, no, I'm coming in with you. I'm like, okay, like, privacy much? But anyways, I'm like, okay. So she goes in the restroom with me. I pee, and I, you know, she was the one that wanted to hold the test. She didn't even let me hold it. So I'm like, okay, fine. She holds the test. She's like, yeah, I'm gonna see it first, and then I'll tell you if you're pregnant or not. So I'm like, okay. So I'm over here like, I honestly thought, you know, my delusional ass, I thought it was gonna be negative, honestly. So she looks at me and she's like, oh, you're pregnant, like, you're pregnant. And I'm like, fuck, like, you know, that's when I started bawling my eyes out because I'm like, my parents, what are they gonna think? Like, what, like, they're gonna get mad. Like, I was more scared to disappoint my mom rather than my dad, which sounds crazy because a lot of people don't want to disappoint their dad and their mom, but I was so scared to disappoint her. I'm such a mommy's girl. Still to this day, all about my mom. All about my dad too, don't get me wrong. But I just have a deeper connection with my mom. Because as a girl, you can talk to your mom a lot more than you can talk to your dad about certain things, you know? So, anyways. That happens. And then she's like, well, you need to tell our parents today. Because you don't know how far along you are. And you need to go see a doctor. Like, you don't know it. You know, like, miscarriages are very high. The first 13 weeks, which I believe are their first 3 months. The first trimester is the most. So yeah, the first 3 trimesters are like the hardest. Okay, I was like, no, I can't tell my parents today. I'll tell them another day. Like, today I'm going out. Like, that day I was planning to go out with my boyfriend and his friends, or his friend and girlfriend, to go eat at the block. So I'm like, I can't go out. Like, I mean, I can't tell them I need to go out. Like, you know. My sister's like, no, who cares? Like, you're gonna tell my parents. Like, you need to tell them. You need to make that doctor's appointment, and my mom has to make it for you. At the time, we thought my mom had to make it for me, but she doesn't, you know. Like, once I'm pregnant, it's kind of like you're independent. Like, you know, that's how I got treated. Basically, you're treated as an adult. You can go by yourself. You can make doctor's appointment by yourself. You can ask for doctor things, like prescriptions and all that stuff, all by yourself, because you have a kid. So once you have a kid, you basically have to get treated like an adult, you know, in certain areas, in certain places. I go to tell my dad first. My dad got home first. My sister went in with me. She was kind of doing all the talking. I couldn't really talk. I felt like I was disappointing them, obviously. And my sister tells him, like, hey, well, we need to tell you something, but you cannot, like, you have to think about what you want to say first. Don't say nothing that you're gonna regret and that, you know, like, that's gonna drive the family apart. Like, remember, stay calm, da da. And he was like, okay, what? Like, kind of like, you guys are scaring me type. She goes, okay, well, Ashley, go ahead and tell him. And I'm like, is the sky blue, or is it just me, or is the sun yellow? Like, what do you mean you want me to tell him? Like, and so then finally she was like, Ashley's pregnant. And then he was like, he stayed quiet for a good like 5 minutes. He's like, okay, well, after that 5 minute silence, he was like, well, can't really do nothing about it. You're already pregnant. We can't do nothing. Like, you're pregnant, whatever. Like, he's like, he basically, then he ended up just telling me, like, you're just gonna have to, I'm sorry about that. So he was like, well, we can't do nothing about it. You know, like, you kind of have to just, there's gonna be a lot of people talking shit about you. There's gonna be a lot of people gonna put their 2 cents into what's going on. But you just gotta be strong. Like, you gotta push through this. Like, this is all you. Like, you're gonna be good. Like, I'm gonna be there for you. My dad was just basically being there for me and all that stuff. So then after, you know, I said, you know, sorry, whatever. And then I went to my brother and I told him what happened. And he was like, oh, you're lying. You're fucking lying. Like, no, you're not pregnant. Like, there ain't no way you're pregnant. And then finally, like, we kind of showed him the test. And he was like, okay, like, she's pregnant, you know, like, I'm pregnant. Like, so he kind of said, well, there's nothing you can do. So after that, he's like, all right, let's call my girlfriend. So we called his girlfriend, which is now his fiance. And I went and called her. Well, he called her on his phone, and then I talked to her that I was pregnant. She was like, oh my god, congratulations. Her and my sister were the first ones to be more like, oh, congratulations. Like, my sister was excited that I was having a kid, and I had to remind her, like, bitch, I'm 16. Like, what do you mean you're excited? I'm 16. Like, what? But she's like, yeah, but I know you're gonna be an amazing mom. Like, you're an amazing tia to my kid. Like, you know, like, I know you're gonna be an amazing mom. I'll be there to support you, you know, whatever, like, yada yada yada. My sister-in-law, the same thing. She didn't have a kid at the time, but she was very supportive. Like, oh my god, I'm gonna be there for you, da da da. Fast forward, it came to my mom, and I went to tell my mom. It was kind of harder to tell her. My sister told her the same thing. Think about what you're gonna say. Don't say nothing wrong. My mom's face literally went from smiling to like, okay, what's going on? Like, this is serious. What's going on? And I started bawling my eyes out right away with my mom. She knew right away, like, there ain't no way that your daughter's about to be crying right now and not saying she's not pregnant. Like, Like, as in, like, in whole intervention, it was my mom, my dad, me, and my sister. Like, a whole intervention, like, she's gonna be suspicious, like, yeah, this girl's pregnant. So my sister finally told her, like, yeah, mom, she's pregnant, da-da-da. My mom was just like, she stayed quiet. She's like, then she finally spoke, like, after, like, a minute or two. She's like, okay, well, there's nothing I can do about it. You're pregnant. All right. That's literally her reaction. It looked like she was gonna cry. She's like, I'm gonna go shower. And then she went straight to the restroom. I think she started crying in the restroom. I don't know. I felt so bad. I was so, like, I was like, what? Like, you know, I was so sad for her. And, like, I knew at the time. She always says that I never disappointed her. It was more like she was scared for me because it's time for the real world. You're gonna have a child. You have to act like an adult. I was a junior in high school. So she's like, you're literally, like, in high school, bro. Like, you're gonna face a lot of things. You still need to go through senior year, like, everything. So then they told me, like, well, I want to have a talk with your boyfriend to see what he has in his head. Like, they were trying to, when we went out, they asked him more like, are you gonna be there in her life? Are you gonna be a part of their life? Are you gonna, like, what are you gonna do? What are you planning to do? What are your thoughts on all of this? And basically he was, when I told him, so I think he tried coming upstairs to come get me, pick me up, like, from upstairs. He usually would come upstairs, wait for me to finish getting ready. But I was ready. I finished getting ready earlier so that when he got here, I just had to go downstairs. So my parents found that I was pregnant. I didn't want them to, like, meet with him and see him. They obviously knew him. I was with him for already 2 years at that time already. You know, they already met him. They seen him. They literally saw him maybe like a month of me and him being together. We're 6 years now, so, but at the time, you know, like, it's not like there was a first time meet. Like, they've known each other for a while. Even before we were together, he would play soccer with my siblings. So it's not like he's a whole stranger, you know, like, they knew him. Which is, I think, why they weren't so upset, because they knew, like, he worked a lot, so they knew he would be financially stable for my baby. My parents never really expected him to start taking over me because I was still a minor. My parents were down to still take care of me and they never wanted me to start working, and I appreciate them so much. You know, bless them. Thank you for giving me all the opportunities I have now, being able to be a stay-at-home mom with my kids, you know. But thank you to my partner for, even though he didn't have to financially be stable for me and my baby, but he was there for me, you know. Like, my boyfriend basically already knew. I had told him the day before. He already kind of knew, but he was still suspicion. So I did show him the digital test the next day, which was the day that I told my parents when he picked me up. And he just gave me a big hug and he told me he was going to be there for me. And basically, like, just reassured me that everything was going to be okay, that he was going to be there for me, that I was going to get through school and all of that sort. But I'm just telling you guys my parents' reaction. I wasn't there when he told his parents. I kind of heard a little bit of what happened, but I don't know the full story. I'm just telling you what happened with my siblings, with my mom and my dad. But yeah, this story time is not to tell you teen pregnancy is easy. Oh, hell no, it's not easy. Still to this day, I'm 20. I'm gonna be 21 soon, and still to this day I find it so hard to be a mom. You can be 30, 40 years old being a mother. It's never gonna get easy. It is a blessing to have kids. I know there's a lot of people out there that want kids, and unfortunately they cannot have kids. It's a blessing. They're blessings, you know. By all means, I am not encouraging teen pregnancy. You know what? Finish school. Finish your careers. Right now, I'm going to cosmetology school, and I find it so hard trying to fit in being a lash tech, taking care of my kids, and going to school. I feel so guilty for leaving them every single day, you know? So I encourage you to I do not regret my kids whatsoever. Okay. But yes, it is very hard, one, to get accepted by people, because not everybody is gonna be on the terms where, like, all right, like, we're gonna be there for you. Not everybody is like that. Not everybody starts like that. It's obviously something very shocking when you find out. Well, now in these days, honestly, it's not very a shocker if a teen is pregnant. Not trying to throw shade out there. I was a teen by myself, so I could say that, okay? It's not unlikely for girls to get pregnant at such a young age now. It's kind of like the new generation. But back then, it was more like you didn't really see many teen pregnancies. You only saw like maybe 2 at school, and that was it, you know? So yeah, I'm not glamorizing teen pregnancy at all. It's very hard mentally, physically, everything, emotionally, everything. It's very, very, very hard, but I don't regret it. I just have to keep saying that. I do not regret it. Like, I love my kids. I love them. I love being a mom, and I hope to have a big family one day. You know, like, I just love being a mom. That's just the tea, okay? But that is it for this video. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for hearing my story. If you are going through teen pregnancy right now or a pregnancy scare, go ahead and comment down below. I'll answer. I'll comment down, like, whatever. If you have questions, if you have any, if you just want to literally just like vent to me what's going on, how you're feeling, I will respond back, okay? I promise. You know, like, I know it's a very hard thing right now, or it's a very hard thing to honestly get through, so I understand where you guys are coming from if you guys are going through it. But feel free to reach out. Honestly, like, I have no, like, it won't bother me. Like, I would love to answer your guys' questions, thoughts, concerns. If you guys have a pregnancy related question, I got you, girl. Like, I got you. I also have a sister-in-law that works as an OBGYN and a gynecologist, so I could give you all the tea. I can ask her and give you all the tea if you need the tea, okay? But yes, thank you so much for watching this video, and comment down below what other videos you guys would like to see, other story times, anything, literally, and I'll go ahead and do that for you. So thank you. Bye.